Hey everybody, Mike Miller with the Herald Times, columnist Jeremy Price, previewing Indiana's NCAA tournament opener Thursday, 7:10 p.m., tipping off against Chattanooga in a loaded East Regional. Chattanooga will be the first of many tests for the Hoosiers should they advance and play through the weekend and potentially into next week. Chattanooga, a team that won the Southern Conference tournament, beat East Tennessee State, actually beat a couple, at least one former Hoosier that we're familiar with, Peter Jerkin, earned the automatic bid through the Southern Conference tournament. And they are a team that, with their defensive length and their ability to shoot a little bit, they could pose a few problems for Indiana.
Yeah, there's an athletic, talented team and a team that knows what it takes to win against top high major opponents. They've already gone on the road this year, won at Illinois, Dayton, and Georgia. But that was several months ago. Since then, it's obviously been just the SoCon. And even in the SoCon tourney, this was a team that really kind of scraped by with a trio of single-digit wins.
And much like the Hoosiers, they cleaned up in their conference postseason awards. Head coach Matt McCall won Coach of the Year, much like Indiana's Tom Crean did in the Big Ten. Justin Toyo, their big 6'10 forward, he's their defensive player of the year in the Southern Conference. Could be a matchup problem for Thomas Bryant, and I think obviously for Bryant, one of the keys will be staying out of that early foul trouble.
Yeah, obviously that's a key any game for Thomas Bryant, and especially in this one with the excitement of an NCAA tournament game, this being his first NCAA tournament appearance. But I think Indiana's going to have some different looks to throw at Toyo. Obviously, he's a talented defender, but I'm sure he's most comfortable when he's defending in the post, in the paint, basically protecting the rim, that kind of situation. I imagine Indiana will put him in situations where he's got to go out on the perimeter and defend, whether it's against Thomas Bryant, Max Bielfeldt, even a smaller lineup that maybe has Juwan Morgan or somebody like that at center. So he's going to have to go probably out of his comfort zone a little bit, and Indiana's going to test him in those ways.
A year ago this week, Indiana packed up and headed toward Omaha for their first round matchup against Wichita State, entering last season's tournament as the youngest team in the field. A bit more experience this year for Indiana, and really that's been kind of the core of their success down the stretch.
Yeah, it's kind of a little more of a mix this year for Indiana. You've obviously got some young guys that are in their first time, and for a lot of those guys that were there last year, obviously it was only one game, so somewhat minimal how much experience they can take from that, but at least they've seen the bright lights and sort of felt the pressure that comes with that. And then you've got a guy like Yogi Ferrell, who was there as a freshman, made a Sweet 16 run, and obviously was a part of that team last year. And then by adding Max Bielfeldt to the roster, a guy who's won 8 games in his NCAA tournament career with Michigan. So you've got a little bit more balance in terms of what you've got on the roster in terms of that veteran voice, the experience to go with the youth.
A lot of experience all around the tournament field this year. Obviously, Indiana has it in their backcourt, a really solid backcourt. You've got to have a good backcourt to win in the tournament. What are some of the keys for Indiana as they prepare for Chattanooga and potentially for Kentucky this weekend?
Well, I think obviously the number one thing going into this week is the health of Robert Johnson. It looks like a guy that's ready to play, should be able to play this week. How fast can he kind of get back up to game speed, get comfortable, do the things that Indiana's counted on him to do, and can he take some of the pressure off Yogi Ferrell, which is obviously going to be a key point in opposing team scouting reports.
7:10 p.m. Thursday night. You can catch us there beginning on Wednesday. Open locker rooms, open practice for Indiana Wednesday afternoon. You can catch all the updates on the Hoosier Scoop blog. Follow us on Twitter at MikeMillerHT, at JP Price. We'll see you in Des Moines.